Hello everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the Elizabeth Olten case. So this case takes place in St. Martin, Missouri on October 21st, 2009. Unfortunately, on this day, 9-year-old Elizabeth Olten's life was ended. Now, while researching this case, it affected me a little bit more than other cases that I've seen because Elizabeth Olten was actually my age. So it's crazy to think that if she was still here with us, she would be my age. It was a typical night for Elizabeth, her 2 siblings, and her mom, who was actually cooking dinner at the time. Elizabeth was actually practicing her lines for a school play she was supposed to be in when a 6-year-old girl knocked on the door to come play with her. Now, this was a common thing for this specific girl who was named Emma to come play with Elizabeth. They did this often. So Elizabeth's mom actually said no at first because it was dinner time, but then when she saw that the girls were so excited to play together, she changed her mind, but she said that Elizabeth could only play for an hour and that she was supposed to be back home at 6 p.m. But when 6 p.m. came around, Elizabeth wasn't back home. So Elizabeth's mother actually called Emma's grandmother, who was the one to raise Emma at the time, and the grandmother said that Elizabeth had never been to their house. That is when Elizabeth's mother actually called the police and the search for Elizabeth began. Fortunately, Elizabeth had a cell phone on her at the time and the police was able to track it before it went dead. The police tracked the phone back to a general area in the woods that was near Elizabeth's house. Even though this was a huge blessing, it was still a big area that they had to search. So there were helicopters, dive teams, and on-foot searchers. Now let's go back to Emma, which is the last girl to supposedly have seen Elizabeth before she went missing. So Emma was actually interviewed by the FBI. At first, she said that her and Elizabeth played together as usual and then Elizabeth went back home around 6 p.m. But then she actually changed her story. Emma said that while her and Elizabeth were playing outside, she actually got stuck in a thorn bush and she was screaming for her sister Alyssa to come help her. Going back to the search, police actually found a hole in Alyssa and Emma's backyard. When Alyssa was questioned about the hole, she said that she dug it because she likes to bury dead animals. When police searched Alyssa's room, they found a lot of writing and drawings on her walls. And some of them were even written or drawn with blood. It was found that Alyssa was cutting herself and that she actually had attempted to kill herself before. Alyssa Delaney Bustamante was born on January 28, 1994. In 2002, Alyssa and her 3 siblings went to live with their grandparents because their mother had addiction issues and their father was in prison. In 2007, Alyssa was hospitalized for a suicide attempt. She was later diagnosed with depression and showed signs of antisocial personality disorder. ASPD is basically the diagnosis that psychopaths have. When police searched Alyssa's bedroom, they actually found her diary. In the diary, there was actually an entry that was kind of erased, but the police were able to figure out what was written there. Now I'm gonna read what this entry said. I just effing killed someone. I strangled them and slit their throat, and stabbed them. Now they're dead. I don't know how to feel at the moment. It was amazing. As soon as you get over the oh my god I can't do this feeling, it's pretty enjoyable. After this was found, Alyssa confessed that she was with Elizabeth that night. The police then asked Alyssa if Elizabeth's throat was cut the night that she disappeared, and Alyssa said yes. The police was now able to figure out what really happened that night. Alyssa asked her little sister Emma to go get Elizabeth from her home. Alyssa then lured Elizabeth into the woods by saying that she had a surprise for her. Alyssa then strangled and stabbed Elizabeth, and she also cut her throat. When Alyssa was questioned as to why she did it, she said that she wanted to know what killing was like. She said that she wanted to see the light in Elizabeth's eyes go away when she killed her. In 2012, 3 years after the murder, a trial began. Alyssa's attorneys actually tried to blame the murder on Alyssa's troubled childhood. Even though Alyssa was only 15 at the time of the murder, she was tried as an adult. Alyssa took a plea deal that charged her for a 2nd-degree murder instead of a 1st-degree murder. She also avoided the death penalty by taking the plea deal. Alyssa might get out of jail in her 50s on parole. Now, of course, Elizabeth's mom, Patty, doesn't want Alyssa to get out of jail ever. She actually made a speech in court and she had to be stopped because it was so harsh. But it is still so understandable why she's angry at Alyssa. So Elizabeth's mom actually sued Alyssa for the crime she committed so that she can never get money from what she did. She also sued an hospital that Alyssa stayed at for not taking the adequate measures while knowing what danger Alyssa represented to others. To me, this case is so sad because I feel like it could have been prevented by just helping Alyssa with her problems. I feel like our society is super good at helping people who are a danger to themselves, but when it comes to people who represent dangers to others, it's a little bit more complicated because I don't think they feel comfortable coming forward and saying, hey, I feel like hurting other people, and I think this should be changed for sure. I just feel like we should help these people more in order to save more lives. Thank you for watching my video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video.